In the vast expanse of Africa, one man's faith burned brighter than the sun itself. Pa Elton, an evangelist whose mission to spread the gospel transformed millions of lives across the continent. His ministry wasn't just about preaching, it was about igniting a spiritual revolution that would reshape Africa's Christian landscape forever. This is the story of Pa Elton, the living legend, the father of modern African evangelism, and a man whose legacy continues to inspire new generations of believers. Part 1. Early Life and Call to Ministry. Born in 1921 in the small village of Eat, Nigeria, Pa Elton, originally named Elijah Olufemi Adelaye, was destined for greatness. Raised in a Christian family, he was exposed to the faith early on, but it was a divine calling that would later propel him onto the global stage. Pa Elton's spiritual journey began at a young age, with a deep desire to follow God's calling to the nations. Though life in rural Nigeria was challenging, his unwavering faith and commitment to God set him apart. Part 2. A Bold Mission, the Birth of His Ministry. After completing his theological training, Pa Elton was ready to answer the call that would shape his destiny. In the 1940s, he began his ministry in Nigeria, preaching the gospel in villages where few had ever heard of Christ. What started as a small, local ministry soon grew. Pa Elton's message was clear: the gospel is for everyone, everywhere. He tirelessly traveled across Nigeria, preaching in towns, villages, and cities, often with little to no resources. Part 3. The Rise of a Global Evangelist. By the 1960s, Pa Elton's ministry had expanded beyond Nigeria, spreading to neighboring countries and across Africa. His message reached the farthest corners of the continent, and soon, his name became synonymous with evangelistic power. But it wasn't just the numbers that made Pa Elton's ministry unique, it was his approach. He preached not only with words, but with undeniable signs and wonders. He saw miraculous healings, deliverances, and incredible transformations at every crusade. Testimony: I came to the crusade with a sickness that doctors could not heal. But when Pa Elton prayed for me, I was healed instantly. I felt the power of God in that moment. These powerful moments of divine intervention became the hallmark of Pa Elton's ministry, drawing even more people to Christ. Part 4. The Impact of Pa Elton's Crusades. Pa Elton's crusades were not just events, they were life-altering experiences. In countries like Ghana, Kenya, and South Africa, his presence was like a spark that ignited a fire of spiritual renewal. Thousands turned to Christ, and churches that had been struggling flourished. Through his crusades, Pa Elton didn't just win souls, he equipped local leaders to continue the work of the gospel. His mentorship and training of pastors across Africa built a foundation for the explosive growth of Christianity in Africa. Part 5. The Power of Mentorship and Leadership. One of Pa Elton's greatest contributions was his mentorship. He understood that lasting change would come not from one man alone, but from empowering others to take the message of Christ into their communities. He established Bible schools and leadership training programs, ensuring that the next generation of African leaders would be equipped to continue the work he had started. His emphasis on mentorship created a ripple effect that is still felt in Africa today. Part 6. Challenges and Perseverance. The road to success was not without its challenges. Pa Elton faced tremendous opposition, both from local authorities and from within the church. Despite these challenges, Pa Elton remained resolute. His faith never wavered, and he continued to press forward, believing that the gospel was more powerful than any obstacle. His perseverance became an example to all who followed him. Part 7. The Lasting Legacy of Pa Elton. Even in his later years, Pa Elton's passion for evangelism remained strong. He continued to mentor leaders, preach the gospel, and support mission efforts across Africa. Pa Elton's legacy is not just one of large crowds and powerful crusades, it's a legacy of faithfulness, mentorship, and commitment to the gospel. His ministry, Christ Evangelical Mission, still operates today, touching countless lives across Africa. Part 8. The Passing of a Legend. On June 6, 2005, Pa Elton passed away at the age of 84, but his work continues to bear fruit. His life is a testament to the power of obedience, faith, and relentless pursuit of the gospel. Conclusion: Pa Elton's story is not just one of success, it's a challenge to all of us. What are we doing with the gifts God has given us? Are we willing to follow His call, no matter the cost? Thank you for watching. Be inspired by Pa Elton's unwavering faith and passion. Let his story challenge you to take bold steps for the gospel, just as he did.